last name began with A. And we're back. Mike Cernovich, Cernovich.com, Cernovich.com. Michael Avenatti and Julian Assange, both arrested, charged with very serious stuff. We did a discussion earlier about Julian Assange and kind of what that means for the Trump base, if anything. And we also have not done one yet on, right? We have not done one yet on Avenatti. Avenatti's just cooked. It's over for Avenatti. The allegations against him are so beyond the pale that, I mean, they're believable, but it's over for Avenatti. He's done. He'll be disbarred. And he allegedly stole money from a client. These are criminal charges. This isn't just a state bar. So once he's convicted or pleads guilty to the multiple felonies he's accused of, then he will be disbarred. I guess with Avenatti, the question is, what was your favorite Michael Avenatti arrest or criminal charge? The domestic violence, the Nike, or today? Today he stole money from a quadriplegic. So which criminal case was, I don't want to say most scummy, because I think stealing money from a paralyzed client, I would say that's way bad. The Nike extortion thing I didn't even care about. Nike is a $1 trillion corporation. I don't care what happens to Nike. I'm not going to white knight for Nike. But, you know, stealing money from a quadriplegic, I would say that was definitely the scummiest. The domestic violence one, you know, I always thought that was kind of a little sus. I was never particularly compelled by that. But we're going to take your calls. 866-438-1487. I'll tell you one more time. The phone number to call in is 866. You got it? 866-438-1487. Give me a call. Let's talk. We always have good convo. I haven't done a live stream in a while. And my last live stream was kind of a cigar one. So it wasn't even like a big, you know, it wasn't like a call-in show or whatever. Yeah, it wasn't that whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and read. The funds, for Avenatti, his client, the funds would go in what's called a client trust account. And then, so here's the way it works, right? Avenatti has a client. He files a lawsuit on behalf of the client. He incurs all kinds of expenses, depositions. Litigation's expensive. $50,000 to $100,000 to work up a personal injury case, a big one like that. So when you settle the case, you think I'm still pretty, thank you. When you settle the case, what happens is the settlement money comes in. You don't cash that check. The check is not made out to Michael Avenatti. The check is made out to the client. It goes into the client trust account. You then deduct any kind of fees or expenses that are owed, right? Hard costs, depositions, other things. You take out your fee. You give, and the fee for that, by the way, would have been 40% probably. So just to show what a scumbag Avenatti is, the fee for that would have been millions of dollars, but that wasn't enough for him apparently. And then the funds get dispersed. This is all like basic legal 101 kind of stuff. And there's like a big rule. You can get away with almost anything as a lawyer other than cheating off a client. Lawyers lie. They do all kinds of courtroom antics. They lie about opposing counsel. They cite law that isn't maybe really accurate. The one thing you can't get away with is ripping off a client. You will get disbarred from that so quick. There have been instances where people got in trouble with the state bar where they didn't even intend to steal it. They just commingled funds, right? Where you have to keep all this money separate. This is all. So he's in so much trouble. Beyond belief how much trouble Avenatti is with the state bar. But that's the one thing you can't do is you can't rip off a client. Lawyers get away with things that you should never get away with. It's really quite appalling. That's why so many lawyers are burned out is if you're just an honest, ethical guy, you're going to be, you're going to have some trouble here. You're going to have some trouble when people lie about you. Because when people lie about you, your response is to be like, what? I can't believe it didn't happen, which is not really persuasive. So lawyers, I tell you, but don't ever steal from a client. We got a caller from Kentucky. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Doing well.
I was curious about, do you believe that Michael Avenatti would have to serve any jail time if he got convicted, or would he just get probation?
Okay, so based on what Avenatti's charged with, he's going to do federal prison even if he pleads guilty. He's charged with multiple federal cases, and so before you get sentenced in federal court, there's something called the sentencing guidelines, and one factor that they look at is the vulnerability of a victim. So the allegations are that Avenatti stole millions of dollars from a quadriplegic. That, other than elder abuse or something, I mean, that's pretty much, minors, something. That's way, way, way down the list of like a new low. And other than hurting a child or something. So he will definitely be doing federal prison if he's convicted or he pleads guilty to this. There's no probation for the kind of stuff Avenatti's charged with.
Oh, good. I believe he does need to serve jail time. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Miami, Florida, how you doing?
Hey, Mike, how you doing today?
Well.
Yeah, so I just want to touch on the Assange thing for a sec here. I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, it'd be very shocking if Trump actually pardoned him. I don't see that happening, especially with him saying now, that he doesn't even know what WikiLeaks is, playing dumb, So where do you see this taking just, journalism as a whole and, trying to, spread the truth now that, Assange is kind of showing everyone that, if you try and even publish information, you're gonna get screwed,
Yeah, the Assange thing. If you were actually a real journalist, you would be mortified by the decision today. Mortified. Under the reasoning behind the indictment against Assange, any reporter who says, "Hey, go get the classified info," has conspired with a source to commit a felony, because it's a felony to access classified information for an unauthorized purpose. So, but the problem is we don't have very many real reporters in America today. We have, 5 or 10 maybe. So the vast majority of reporters don't think about this because they don't have sources. If you're like me and you have actual real sources, you think about this. You're like, I have to be careful. But if you're like CNN and you don't actually have sources and you just make things up, or you just repeat what everybody tells you, then today's ruling will have no impact on your life. If you're a real journalist, today's ruling is going to have a significant impact on how you break news. If you work for MSNBC or CNN or any of the other many fake news outlets, the indictment of Assange, no big deal to you.
Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts on it. I guess we'll see how it goes from here. I mean,
for sure.
I don't know, man.
Have a good day.
A lot of bad implications.
It's a bad one for sure. All right, one more call, and then I have to go do stuff. If you'd like to know, I'm having a meeting. So this is the last call. New Orleans, Louisiana, how you doing? New Orleans? It's you? Okay. I tried. All right, everyone. Thanks for talking today. Maybe I'll do one later tonight. I got to go, though, do a meeting. I just looked at the clock, and I realized I need to get going. Thanks for listening. As always, you can find all of my stuff at cernovich.com, CERNOVICH.com.